you get in the car on the way home, and I'd say like, look, my toe was sore today, like just trying to make excuses because he was so like hard on me, but he was trying to push. Like it come from a good place, you know what I'm saying.
So the reason why your mother quit gymnastics was because he was so hard on her?
Yeah, he was just so tough on her. And obviously she didn't have really the motivation to carry on. Probably she weren't strong enough to carry on that. But, for me, I always knew I wanted to be a footballer. So, having, my granddad, my dad, my mum around me at the time, trying to push me. And it was difficult even at earlier stages because, I was living out of mum's a couple of days and my granddad's a couple of days, and he's only down the road, it's like literally 5 minutes, but like I say, my mum couldn't really cope with me at the time. So I was back and forth from my nan and granddad's a lot. And then like I say driving from up and down the motorway, Liverpool, straight back to Manchester. I would train at Liverpool for one day, have a game for United the next day. So he put the yardage in, to get me where I wanted to be today.
You said though that your mother couldn't really cope with you at the time. What do you mean by that?
It's depression. She'd be in bed all day. Well, most days. I'd go in, ask for money for the ice cream, like still be in bed. So me, I was happy-go-lucky. Like I'm bubbly. Like I wanted to go and play football with my friends. And you don't understand, the situation that, your mother's in at the time was so young, so I didn't really understand what was going on. Until obviously it got brought to light, maybe probably say about 16, 17, you can kind of understand like what she's going through and things like, but she'll never talk about it. She'll always bottle it up.
So your mother was suffering from depression even when you were very, very young?
Yeah.
But at that time you just didn't realise what it was?
No, didn't know it was.
Did she know what it was?
I think she knew, yeah. But she would never, at that time we didn't have really a support system to support her. She didn't have really people around her that, she could go to, like she can go to my PA now and, go to the doctors and, she will sort all that out. But at that time, obviously I think she knew what it was, but she couldn't really cope with it. She didn't know how to deal with certain things. And, for me, I'm just a kid, so I wanted to play out, have fun, play football. But for her, she just wanted to go be in bed like all day. She could drop me off at school. Well, she could drop me off at school at 8 o'clock in the morning and then sleep until 3 o'clock until she picks me up. That's how bad it was. Like she was really going through it.
So she'd sleep all night, wake up to drop you to school and then go back to bed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She'd sleep in the daytime, pick me up from school, probably go back to bed again, just lay in bed. Like curtain shut, dark room, everything. And then obviously, bath me, whatever, go before I go to bed, and then she'll sleep all night.
Over the last 10 years or so, people have become more aware of what like depression and mental health is. And this is kind of why I ask if your mother knew what it was, because like 10 years ago, if I'm being completely honest, there was a real stigma around mental health. It was kind of seen as someone just kind of being a bit crazy. Yeah. And over the last 10 years, thankfully, we've gotten to a point where we have a better understanding that we have physical and mental health. And this is why I say, like, did your mother know what it was? Did she just think she was just sad or she didn't have motivation? Or did she know she was depressed?
Yeah, I think it was probably the motivation part. Like, she couldn't get out of bed. She couldn't motivate herself to get out of bed. Even when they woke up, I was dying for her to be there. And I think she came for the quarterfinals, and that just made me so happy because in her situation, not getting out of bed, not having the motivation, but she found that motivation to come and see her son play at the World Cup. That was like I told her like I was really proud of her. Like it's brave what he did because every day in bed, depressed, no motivation, and just to find that little bit of motivation just to come and see, her son at the World Cup. And don't forget she's got, I've got my little sister and little brother as well. So, she's got to deal with them as well, which is always tough. But like I say, to find that motivation to come and see me at World Cup was important for me especially because I wanted her there anyway, regardless. And I didn't even know she was coming until I was in the lineup. singing national anthem, I seen her.
You seen her?
Yeah.
Really?
And it just gave me goosebumps straight away. Like, I was so emotional after that. And I wanted to perform at the highest level and win the game just for her. And I think there's a video on my Instagram of me hugging her for like 2-3 minutes.
I've seen it.
And it's just some things that can make you happier, you know, as a person, but just to be there and get up and get changed and get dressed and have that motivation to say, son, I woke up. That's what made me happy.
This is a bit of a difficult question because it's not always obvious, but did you ever figure out where or what the root cause of your mother's depression was?
Not really, no. I think as soon as she had me, to be honest, I think it was just difficult for her to handle having a child. Like I say, my nan and granddad, you know, took over most of the time, but you know, she was still there. She was still a mother, but it was just hard for her to deal with it. And you know, we had certain instances where, you know, we'd be in bed and she'd be like trying to stretch my legs and that. Like, I'm like, what's happening? I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know she had depression at the time. I was at such a young age. But for her, it was just normal for her. And she's like, you know, stretching my legs, like, you got training tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, I didn't realise what was going on. So she had them like phases where, you know, she'd do, you know, some extraordinary, you know, stuff.
Stretching your legs, I'm confused.
Yeah, just like stretching my groins out, like before like we went to sleep. Just like it was strange for me because I knew I'd train the next day, but for her that was probably not like natural and normal. Do you know what I mean? Like it still don't resonate with me today, and probably doesn't resonate with her today of what was going through her head at the time. Like especially when I was born. Like, could she handle that situation of having a kid?
So you're saying basically before you would go to sleep, she was stretching your legs in a way that didn't make sense, like as in.
Yeah, I was just like, I just want to go sleep. Like, why? Well, I would never question her, but she would just do like extraordinary stuff.
And this has lasted up until today, since as young as you can remember, till today.
Yeah, and I think she'll still always have depression, but she can cope with it now. She can handle it because, like I said, we've got the right support system around. But still, it's like I say, I've got my little brother and sister who she looks after, and you know what? She's come on. My mum's come on leaps and bounds, to be honest. Especially from like even a documentary. She was nervous to do that. Like she was crying in the car. Like the director spoke to her and said, "You're going to be involved in it." She was crying. Like didn't know if she cope with it. But you know, she found the courage, found the motivation, you know, to do it, and that's still a big thing, even though she's going through what she's going through. But like I say, we can handle, you know, certain situations now.
Emotions. You said about bottling up your emotions, and generally, you know, I think men in particular have a real problem with kind of expressing their emotions for various reasons because we're macho and masculine and whatever else. But did you learn at a young age at all how to express your emotions? Did you have models in your life where people were emotionally expressive?
No. Only with my mum and my nan and granddad. Like we'd always say, "Love you," like, "How are you? You okay?" But like dad's side, like not much. Like rarely hug, more of a, you know, fist bump. But you know, sometimes you gotta see that loving side, especially from, you know, our father, and you know, me becoming a father as well. That's all I want to do with Hope. You know, tell her I love her, you know, express, you know, that emotion to her. So I mainly got it from like my mum's side, granddad, nan, mainly. And like I say, I think my dad's coming to a realisation where, you know, he's seen a documentary and, you know, his thought is, what's the point in, you know, it's a short life, what's the point in arguing all the time? Because my mum and dad never seen eye to eye. So I can understand from my mum's perspective where, you know, she don't want to see him, but my dad's come to a realisation where it's like, look, let's get together, let's have a coffee, let's sit down. You know, documentary really, you know, woke him up and realise life's too short to, you know, because it becoming games and my mum, it'd be asking like, is your mum in the box? Like, who's in the box? Like, who's in the box? And I'm like, my mum. But I'll sit in the stands and I know it shouldn't be like that, but you know, that's how it is. But he wants that, you know, togetherness again. But I can never see my mum doing it. I can never see my mum giving him time of day, to be honest.
Has your mum been able to find a new partner since?
She picks, yeah, she picks not the best people, to be honest. She picks a lot of narcissists, but she kind of thrives off that for some reason, like the bad boys, and you know the situation that we're in. You know, you can't be going out with these guys and doing what you're doing with these guys because, you know, it comes back to me. They've had a lot of drama with most of them, to be honest. And the last guy hung himself. Which was, it was deep. But it, you know what narcissists are like. Like 1 minute, he'd be giving her the world, and then next he'd be like, "Who you with? Like, who you texting? Blah blah." And I'm like, Mum, these guys are not good for you, man. Like, they're not good for you. But somehow she thrives off them situations and gets a buzz off it and becomes happy. So I was in a situation where it's like, do I want Mum to be happy and being with these guys, or, you know, bring her back down to earth? So it's a difficult situation, but like I say, yeah, the guy, you know, hung himself in the end. And then I think after that, my mum realised, you know, she can't be, you know, dating these people.
It's difficult, isn't it? I completely relate to, well, I can completely understand, not that I've had that lived experience, but I can understand what you're saying with this conflict of, I want her to be with someone, but if it's a bad option, would I rather her just be alone? And then, you know, I was thinking as you were saying that about many of my friends who've been going through difficult situations with their mental health, and what ends up happening, because there might be a gap somewhere or something missing or something not quite stable with you, you end up attracting someone like a mirror who is also a little bit unstable, who isn't in the best place, and you kind of are toxic together in a way. And often I think with some of my friends, it's like you just need to work on yourself first before you try and find someone who, you know, because a lot of the time we end up trying to look for someone that will fix us. Yeah. Which is never a good thing.
I think that's what she did. She wanted someone to, because, you know, she's got friends, but she don't go out with her friends and, you know, be social. So I feel like her having, you know, someone there, you know, she could go to his house, she could do things with him, she could be happy. But on the other side, it's like they're not good for you though. Like they kind of bring you down in a way.
Manipulators and
manipulating and stuff like that, and
they're well aware of your weaknesses.
She believe it. Like
really?
She believe like we'd go somewhere, like me, my mum, Daisy, and maybe Travis or something like that. And the guy would be texting like, "Where are you? Like, what are you doing? Who you with? Like, what's with the family? No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not." And it's like, and I don't know, my mum's like dealing with this, and I'm like, how can you deal with that? I'm thinking, how can you deal with this? I'm like, just block him. But she just like, she loves the attention. She loves it.
Narcissists target people like that, that they can control in such a way, be coercive and manipulate and sort of take advantage of their self-esteem and stuff. That's what narcissists do. Because an individual like that, a narcissist like that, would never be successful in coercion and manipulation of someone who would go, "What the fuck are you texting me when I'm with my phone? The fuck do you think you are?"
Exactly, that's what I was
They wouldn't survive there. No. So they find their way to people who they can...
Easy targets.
Yeah, exactly.
Mum's easy target.